Good morning, Seekers, and happy Friday! Today is Friday, April 23rd, 2020, and we are ready to wrap up another magical week of distance learning. So let's see what we've got on board for today and get it going. I want to start by going over all of the upcoming chat information we have for the week. Now, this is new. This is the first time you've heard me talk about this, so let me explain here. Yesterday, when I was doing my daily recording of the Harry Potter video. Oh, Alistair, did you need to join in this conversation, Alistair? Yesterday, when I was doing my reading, Noah was just kind of hanging out with me in our team's chat room. Alistair, it's okay, buddy. Noah was hanging out with me in our team's chat room, and he just decided to hang out and kind of listen while I read and did the recording. And it actually ended up being really fun for both of us because he got to hear me read it live, and I got to have kind of more of an audience to read to. So I decided whenever I can, I'm gonna start letting you guys know when I'm gonna be doing that recording. And if you wanna tune into Teams and listen to me read live, you can. You don't have to. I mean, I'm not gonna interact really that much. I'm just gonna be reading. But it's kind of cool to hear something read live instead of listening to a recording. And then if you guys have questions or comments or anything, if you want to chime in every now and then, I think that'd be fine too. And it can be just a little bit interactive without being too distracting. So if you want to listen to me read Harry Potter live, out loud, I think I'm on chapter 11 today. Feel free to tune in. If you're not caught up on all the chapters, you may not want to because it'll be some spoilers, but you can take some time this morning and go ahead and get caught up or work on getting caught up so that on Monday when I do a live read aloud, you can join us for that. Whatever works, totally optional. Also optional, but I do hope that lots of you guys will join us at 1:30 this afternoon. We are going to be having our book chat where we're going to be talking about all the things we've been reading. Miss Evans is going to pop in. She's going to show us all the cool online resources we can use, and that should be a really nice way to wrap up our week. Now, this is for next week, but just to give everybody a heads up so you can go ahead and tell your parents, Monday evening at 5:30 p.m. Hopefully that's late enough in the evening to where everybody's coming in from work, but not so late that I'm going to interrupt everybody's dinner times. But Monday evening at 5:30, I'm going to do a quick parent chat in Teams. So you guys are going to have to help your parents out. You're going to log into Teams just like it's you. Go into our Scott Seekers group chat just like you always do, but put your parents in front of the camera so that your parents can hear me and see me. And then I'll follow along with your parents going over our next phase of distance learning that's going to be starting the week after next. I have some information to give out to parents about what the new packet will be like. It'll be a little bit different, about what our days are going to look like in the next coming weeks and months. Sorry, Dobby just stepped right on my muscle. So lots of information to share with you guys, and I thought kind of doing like a virtual open house for our next phase of distance learning might be the easiest way to do that. So make sure your parents know they can tune in at 5:30. If they can't make it, that's okay. I'm going to post a recording of the session so that they can go back and watch it whenever they want. I'll post that in our Blooms app so that everybody has access to the same information, even if you can't make the live video chat. All right, let me move on to some end of the week kudos. I had lots of students doing lots of great things this week. I gotta say, you guys have really stepped it up this week. So many real world science things got sent to me and all of the really fun things you guys have been doing at home to stay busy. I love that. Keep sending that to me. The group I want to recognize today, although I wish that technology had been more on my side when I was gathering this data, but I want to go give you a rundown of this week's leaderboard so far. You guys know I'm not going to do final numbers till Monday, but so far I want to give an idea of who's been in the lead for their intervention. Lexia's been a little funky this week though. I think there were some days in Lexia where time didn't get logged. So if I don't call your name or if you're further down the list than you think, it was probably just a technical error. There's not a whole lot I can do to undo that, but we're just gonna keep trying to truck along and hopefully those errors are gonna work themselves out. So far what I have for Lexia, for our leaderboard, I've got number 7 in the lead. No surprise there, number 7 is rocking it out strong. But number 7 is followed closely by numbers 16, 11, 3, 6, and 19. So great job to all of you for getting those Lexia minutes in there. Keep it up. Some of you guys still have a few minutes to go to hit your goal, but I know you can do it. You've got all day today, and you can even take the weekend if you need to before I pull those final numbers around Sunday afternoon. As far as our MobyMax Reading Stories Intervention leaderboard, there's no change in first place. It's still number 7. Number 7 is first in Lexia and in MobyMax Reading Stories. I'm pretty sure that deserves an extra special round of applause. a fireworks cheer, because number 7, I could not be more proud of you. Great job, dude. You keep that up. You are rocking it out. And then following number 7 under the MobyMax Reading Stories leaderboard is number 13, number 10, number 4, and number 20. Great job to all of you gentlemen and lady. I had one girl on that leaderboard. So great job to all of you. Excellent work. All right, let's talk about our creature. Woo! Alistair, did you do that? Huh? Did you do that, you silly dog? Let's talk about our creature of the day, shall we? If Alistair decides to calm down. Alistair, you are not the creature of the day, okay? You do not need to get all the attention right now. Now, let me start by saying we've done a similar creature to this. But remember, I'm trying to do this backyard theme this week, and this little guy is all over my backyard. So we've already done the red squirrel. But I thought today we would talk about just the kind of typical brown or gray squirrel that we have here in Northwest Florida. The red squirrel that we've already discussed, which is, I'd say, equally as adorable, looks more like this with the little tufts on their ears and over here, if you guys remember doing that video. But today's video is gonna focus on the more traditional squirrel that we're used to seeing around here. The squirrels that live in the trees around here and sometimes along the ground. These little guys are probably in most of your backyards because they are everywhere in Northwest Florida. And squirrels are just so cute and so adorable. And I think you're gonna love the video that I have to show you. It's really exciting, but more than that, it's got 2 of the cutest little baby squirrels you've ever seen in your entire life, and they are the most precious things ever. So perfect way to wrap up your week with some adorableness and some baby squirrels. And just wait until you meet this mama squirrel that they've got. This is one incredible mama squirrel that you're gonna watch in today's Creature Corner video. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That is our creature of the day, the backyard squirrel. So cute. All right, let's talk about our packet work for today. You have no packet work for ELA, so you're just working through your usual things. Read for 20 minutes, do your 30 minutes of intervention, especially if you're behind in your minutes this week. Get those minutes in. And join us for our Harry Potter Read Aloud. You can listen in live at 11, or you can watch it anytime after 11 once I get it uploaded to YouTube from our private link. Okay guys, let's try going over math again. Sorry, somebody rang the doorbell and then we lost it after that with the dogs. There was no getting them back after that, till they calmed down. So, math. In your packet today, this is what you are doing. You're doing both of these pages. But I will make you a deal. If you're listening to this video right now, that tells me you're paying attention. So if you're listening to this video, you know I'm only gonna ask you to do the evens, okay? Because it is 2 pages today. So if you can do the evens on this page and the evens on this page, that's your reward for listening to the video this morning, okay? So anybody who sends me evens only, I'll know that you listened to the video and you don't have to do that extra work. But this is super easy, guys. This side is adding decimals. This side is subtracting decimals. We did that months and months and months ago. This is not new information. I'm gonna give you a super, super duper quick recap lesson because the only trick to adding and subtracting decimals is keeping your decimal lined up. So, I took just the first one off of the addition page to do it as an example, just to show you how simple this is. You keep your decimals lined up, and then you're just gonna add like you normally would. 4 plus 5 is 9, 2 plus 2 is 4. Bring your decimal down, 0 plus 4 is 4. So, 24 hundredths plus 4 and 25 hundredths equals 4 and 49 hundredths. Now, moving on to another one where you have numbers that have a different amount of numerals. So for example, we have this missing place value here. You'll notice I don't have this slid over. I don't have it slid to where the 7 is under the 1. That would throw me all off. I have to keep my decimals lined up, and then any empty spaces is just like having a 0, and you just add normally after that. So 1 plus 0 is 1, 3 plus 7 is 10. You're gonna put your 0 here, put your decimal, bring up your 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, to get an answer of 5 and 1/100th. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Same thing for subtraction, guys. Here was an example of number 4 from your sheet on subtraction. So we have 6 and 12/100ths minus 7/10ths. Well, it's missing a digit. So I know that that's just a 0. I'm keeping my decimals lined up. 2 minus 0 is 2. I can't take 7 from 1, so I've got to make this an 11 and make this a 5. 11 minus 7 gives me 4. I bring my decimal down. 5 minus 0 gives me 5. So 6 and 12/100 minus 7/10 leaves me with 5 and 42/100. All right, let's try one last one. This one, all we had was 74, and it asked us to take away 65 and 9/10. So you've got to put your decimal place, put your decimal point where it goes, fill in your missing 0, and you can start working from there. We can't take 9 from 0, so we actually have to scratch that out and make it a 10. We're gonna make this a 3. Sorry for this terrible handwriting, guys, but I'm having to lean over and backwards. So 10 minus 9 gives us 1. I cannot take 5 from 3, so I'm gonna make this a 13. I'm gonna make this a 6. 13 minus 5 gives me what? 8. Put my 8 there. Oop, I forgot to put my decimal. There it is. And then 6 minus 6 gives me nothing, so I have nothing to write. So I have my answer, 74 minus 65 and 9/10 leaves me with 8 and 1/10. A little messy, but still correct. I think you get the point. So if you have any trouble with that, let me know on Teams today, but I don't see that anybody's gonna have any issues with this whatsoever, but I'm here if you need me. Your math question of the day is not much more difficult than that either. It is basically asking you how many cups are in 10.5 pints. Well, if you check here, let me move this up so that I'm not working over Alistair. How about that? I'll just bring this up here for now. Kind of makes my board a little messy, but that's okay. It'll be easier to work with. So it's asking you how many cups are in 10.5 pints. I'm gonna do an example for you. In my example, I'm not gonna work with the number 10.5 pints because I don't wanna give you the answer. I want you to solve it. But I'm gonna work with 4.5 pints. So you're gonna do this yourself with 10.5 pints once I'm done. But I'm just trying with a different example. So from our reference sheet, we know that 1 pint equals 2 cups. So 4.5 pints equals how many cups? Well, to go from 1 pint to 2 cups, I had to multiply 1 times 2. So to go from 4.5 pints to however many cups that is, I've still got to multiply times 2. So 4.5 times 2 is what I'm gonna do to solve this. I know I need to represent that half as a decimal because that's how I'm gonna be able to multiply the easiest. And we know from being so strong with our fractions and our decimals that a fraction of 1/2 is the same as a decimal of 0.5. So 4.5 times 2. You do have to remember your strategies for multiplying a decimal here. So if you remember, when you multiply a decimal, you ignore the decimal until you're done, and then you count how many digits are behind the decimal and you add it back in. So 2 times 5 is 10. I put my 0, I bring up my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So I've been ignoring my decimal so far. Now it's time to add my decimal back in. So I have to look at my number with the decimal. How many digits are behind the decimal? 1. So that's how many digits are gonna be behind the decimal in my answer. 1. So that means my answer is simply 9. 4.5 pints equals 9 cups. So guys, you are gonna do the same thing, except instead of 4.5, your question is 10.5. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna multiply it times 2 in order to find out how many cups are in 10.5 pints. And don't forget, you're gonna ignore your decimal, and then you're gonna add it back in at the end. And that's how you're gonna tackle that. All right, you're gonna put your answer on the bottom of page 14 for me, and you're gonna send me a picture of your math work for today. Pages 14 and 15 with the answer. Just I said page 14 because you have the room down here. Put your answer for the question of the day down somewhere in this spot, and then send me a picture of this whole thing so you can get credit for today's math work. Also, while we're talking about pictures, don't forget, some of you guys are still needing to turn in some poems and some journal entries to me. So if you haven't sent me pictures of all 4 of your poems by now, You need to get that to me. If you haven't sent me your journal entries, go ahead and work on getting that to me as well. All righty. Finally, the last thing I have for you today before I set you free on your fabulous Friday is your daily challenge. I hope this is one you have some fun with. Use the link I've included in the description to learn a few simple words in sign language. A lot of you guys had fun learning how to finger spell your name in sign language the other day when I applied that as a daily challenge. Actually, seeker number 19 and seeker number 2 especially did a really good job with their names, and they made some really great videos to send me with that. So I'd love to see some videos of you guys learning a few simple signs and maybe signing a quick little sentence or something like that. That would just make my day. So your daily challenge is to learn a few simple words or phrases in American Sign Language with the link included in the video description. All right, my dears. I do believe that is everything I have for you. We have made it through another week nice and strong. You guys have worked hard. You've asked questions when you needed to. You've reached out when you got stuck. And that is exactly what we're working towards getting good at. Learning when to ask for help and learning how to reach me when you need me. And this week we really made a lot of progress on that. I'm very proud. Whoa, Alistair, oh my goodness. I'm very proud of all of you. Dobby and Alistair are proud of you too, aren't you, babies? Are you proud of the Seekers? Yes, they're saying yes, they're proud of you guys too. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. I hope you have a magical weekend. And more than anything, I hope all throughout your day, you never once forget that you can do anything because you, just like Alistair, are made of stardust. Bye for now, guys. We'll talk soon.